Hello and welcome to our first ever episode for 2015. I'm Godwin Eki and welcome to Catch Play. Catch Play is a sports development program covering stories of new and existing athletes and programs or policies put in place by different sporting codes in the country and using sports for development in our communities. Well, before we move on to tonight's show, let's take a look at what's coming up for you. We meet up with the people behind AFL PNG and find out how AFL PNG is being conducted. We then catch up with Mosquitoes Captain Lavai, sharing his story and experience of AFL and find out about AFL PNG's coverage throughout Papua New Guinea. And that's your lineup for tonight. He is AFL PNG. Enjoy. Guys, thanks for allowing us to come in for this interview. Now, firstly, just tell us about AFL PNG and how AFL is going as a sport in PNG.
AFL PNG Limited was established in 2000 as a representative of AFL in Papua New Guinea. And currently it has been, for the last 10 or 15 years, been set up in PNG, has been developed into like 4 regions in PNG, the southern region, northern, the islands and the New Guinea Islands.
And how has that been going, through, inspiring other kids around the country? And this is like, we also have females taking part in AFL as well.
AFL has grown from a very small office, a very small oval, and it's grown bigger. We've included the girls in our programs as well. The junior development with the girls, the school girls coming in, and we've extended it to the senior competitions outside here in Mosby and outside as well.
So would you say AFL is growing in PNG?
Oh, definitely. I think, like I said, in the last 15 years, AFL has been really through its development, the talent pathway, especially even as a good result in Australia. And really we've seen a lot of kids numbers now taking part in the school competition, also our clinics, in the new kid clinics in schools. So the number gradually is growing, but due to resources, but we still have numbers in schools and even around the communities and the villages taking part in the clinics and also the competition.
Now you also have in place some policies in place for the kids, like you mentioned, the new kick. How's that going?
Yeah, I think the new kick basically is the AFL PNG fundamental introductory program to the whole program of the AFL PNG. And been to schools, in Port Moresby, in Lae, KVN, Hagen, Kimben, we've seen the kids have been really, very, very interested and keen in getting involved in the program. And also behind this program, it has lifestyle rules that teaches kids to be a good member of the local community. So it's very, very similar to other sports in the country also, which is telling kids about no smoking or drugs or alcohol and all these little things. So really, the New Kick program has really produced results over the years and been bringing a lot of kids into the program.
And what age groups are you targeting? Because I know most of them will be school kids.
Yeah, the New Kick program is basically targeting kids between 5 to 12 years old, and now it's gone up to the primary and the secondary level. So we have seen, starting this year, we have seen the under 17 boys in the school competition. Gradually, we wanted to build on this year and into the future.
Because a lot of the kids won't be going to school, and this is one thing that, I actually like the idea, because kids that don't go to school, this is what they tend to, and I'm sure a lot of kids, if I was to give numbers, I don't know how much, but I'm sure lots of kids would love to come and join this kind of program.
Yes, it's really true, because we got a couple of our teams this year is taken part, called the Record Cats and the Leopard Coco for us, where a few of the kids are not from the school but from the streets getting involved. So it's a life-changing pathway for them to take and to try to get involved in this new sport and try to build themselves into it and try to adapt these rules and all this selection criteria and everything.
So I know this is is it just targeting boys, or there's girls too as well for the new programs?
The New Kick program also involved the girls from the primary age right up to the secondary. So like I've said, by next year we wanted to build on the secondary boys competition to involve the girls. So next year we might find a different venue for them and start building them up from the under 12 right up to the open women, which are in the senior league.
Yeah, that brings me back to our senior teams. Can you tell us about the senior teams?
The senior competitions around the country, we've got running here mainly in Port Moresby, Lae, in Rabaul and Kimbe as well. We're looking forward to go out to Buka, and we're trying to get back into Hagen again, into the Highlands region as well. But the main two centres that are really running effectively are up in Leh and here in the nation's capital.
So tell us a bit about some of these senior players, because I know they've gone through, like you said, through these programs and they've made it this far, and they've come as from communities, and then it's really changed their lives.
Yeah, most of the players have come in through the talent pathway through the AFL PNG's. It was called the OS kick before, which now we've changed it into new kick. We've just changed the name into new kick because of Papua New Guinea. So we just got rid of the OS, and most of the boys have come through the pathway. They got scholarships, went down, and they're playing there. And most of them are currently the PNG Mosquitoes side is mainly made up of kids that have come through the pathway. And
how has AFL PNG been through for the past few years now, in terms of development and assistance from governments? How is that going?
With the growing of the sport financially, we only get assisted by the AFL Australia, right? And there's an X amount of money that they send up every year for us to do operational costs and to run clinics, especially mainly on the knee kick clinics, and development all around the country. So we haven't got. We've just some small business houses have just come up. They're just coming to help along with like Coca-Cola, MBIL currently, who have the naming rights for the national team. Yeah. That's just a bit of X amount that they've just given us to support some of our programs.
We'll go for a quick break now, and when we return, we continue on with the rest of the interview right here on Catch Play. AFL, are there any things that you would like to see come up maybe in the near future to do with AFL?
Yes, the future we're looking at hopefully in 2017 or hopefully by 2018 we are looking at trying to do something like what the PNG Hunters are doing currently. There's talks still going on. We're hoping that a couple of the kids coming through the talent pathway will actually be the pioneers of the national side to take part in one of the competitions, hopefully in Cairns or maybe Brisbane or anywhere out there in Australia. So the plan's still in the pipeline, so we're just hoping that we'll try to get there as soon as possible.
So you obviously work with the young kids. Are there any stories that you hear from some of these kids, how it's really changed them?
Yeah, I think like many of the kids been through this program have spoken earlier about the talent pathway and have been selected into the PNL dance and how it changes them, not just like during the game but also outside, going to schools and all the things. So like I've said, the selection criteria or we have got the other program behind it is called our lifestyle rules program, which teaches kids to like self-discipline and try to build them a proper person in the community and all these things. So it's a two-way thing here that the kids have really enjoyed when they get involved in the new kick program and try to get themselves into representing themselves in the national teams.
Having competitions here, did you ever think of bringing teams from other overseas countries or in the Pacific region to host games in PNG now that we have the facilities here?
Yes, as I mentioned, we're working on those things to get into a competition outside as well. So it's like what the Hunters do, have a home and away game.
Yes.
With the facilities, was very point that we're still working on that. We're just waiting for the government to the Sports Foundation to take over the grounds. Hopefully we will have a better home ground there, so we can be able to invite clubs during the off-season to come up here and have a run with the boys, and vice versa we can do that.
So how many clubs do we have, in the country?
In the country, as in for the seniors?
AFL, yes.
For the seniors, I think there's 10 currently running here in Port Moresby.
Yep.
I think we get six or 8 up in Ley. West New Britain, I think they've got 8, and they haven't actually started the competition yet, so they might be doing it in maybe by next month. They might be kicking off due to the PNG games that will be hosted up there. So with the facilities up there, they haven't actually started the competition this year. Yeah, so we have a good number of teams running competitions outside of Moresby.
So just back to you, like you said, you've got this other program coming up for the kids. Are there any other programs that you'd like to maybe bring across so that the kids can, participate?
Yes, I think apart from the school competition and UK program around, we have got the AFL talk now. Is this thing to be happening like 2017, which they're going to be introducing the under 14 girls traveling down to Australia. So like pathway now we will have the 2 under 14 teams for boys and girls, and the under 16. Our under 16, the Binatans team won't be traveling as a team anymore. They'll be traveling as a South Pacific team to the state championship. So our under 17 girls will also travel in November.
So how's the training going on for them?
But the training has been going really well. Most of the kids have been really focusing on the skill level and fitness level, try to get themselves prepared for the event. I think the under 14 boys will be traveling next week Monday, and the girls will be in November. So there's a lot of, the girls will really need a big focus for them to basically on the skill levels and the fitness.
Senior teams, for the calendar, we don't have anything end of the year. We're hopefully trying to have a national championships, but there's still talks going on. Hopefully by next year we've got the PNG games. Is one of our most it will be taking. That's a lead up to the International Cup in 2017 again, and PNG Games will be one of the ones that will help us to do another selection. But for this year we don't have anything coming up. We only have there's a new development coming up with this seniors. We're just trying to do a corporate nines competition. We're trying to get the guys out, sitting in the offices to come out and have a kick on the field. So as soon as that's all confirmed, then we'll be able to let everyone know what this.
So would you say right now AFL PNG moving forward is heading the right direction?
Yeah, yes, definitely. It's really like it's heading to the right direction. There's still plans with the AFL to try to further expand the interest from teams here down to Australia. Our scholarship pathway will continue again next year, and basically like what Rex have said, to try to get a team in Australia.
Let's take a quick breather, and after that we join Captain for Mosquitoes, John Lavai. Joining AFL PNG at an early age, after picking up the AFL football, John Lavai experienced an amazing journey since then of his AFL football career, where he travelled places all for the love of AFL. He says it was his commitment and hard work and effort towards his goal from the very beginning that brought him to where he is now and to play and represent PNG. Let's take a look. Tell us about your experience now that you're a captain, when you started playing AFL and where it's brought you to now.
I started off playing AFL when it was first introduced back in 2000, which I can't remember, but I think I was back in primary school time, and they first introduced it was Oz kick, and it was new kick now. And yeah, I pretty much started off at Oz kick, and from From there, all my life, like I fell in love with the game, and so like I was playing soccer back at that time, but because of the new sports that like got up and stuff, so I decided to take part in it, and I fell in love with it. So pretty much from there, played from Oscar coming up, from junior level till I think at the age of 17, I was lucky enough to be in one of the scholarship heading down to Australia, which was in Cairns, and he had a first taste of like football down there. And it was pretty different down there, but it was a different culture down there. But managed to cope with it, and I was lucky enough to like move on further, like from Cairns, and then had an opportunity with the countryside down there, and was lucky enough to be on the countryside, even headed down to Brisbane. Back then it was championship in Queensland.
So what was your family thinking, when you were traveling up to overseas, to play in your competitions?
It was a new thing to the family as well, like, and to me as well, like leaving mom and dad at the age of 17 and going down there, like it was something which, like, parents wouldn't let their teenagers go out to explore other countries as well. But like I was so thankful enough with mom and dad; they were like supportive to me and stuff, so releasing me down there and stuff, and to what like currently playing at the higher level and stuff, and especially representing the country as well. So a big thanks to mom and dad as well.
I mean, just hearing that, it's really, changed his mindset and where he started from. What would you say to that?
Yeah, Johnny and a couple of the boys have what he said, leaving the family back here and heading down. It was a very big ask for the family back here. They had to make a choice, and we're really thankful that most of the parents, I think they made the right choices to let the boys go, take on the challenge, go on the scholarship, go on the play hard, try to move up to the next level. And most of them, John has done very well so far. We hopefully that a couple of the young boys coming behind up the ranks would also follow his footsteps. We have also another guy down there, another kid down there, Gideon Simon, who went up a step further up, but they just had to. Came up to a stage where they couldn't let him move on further. So, but the table's still out there for the boys to work harder, and hopefully in the next 10 or say 5 or 10 years, we won't be surprised if one of the young boys out here will just break it through the thing and get into one of the AFL clubs down in Australia. So big credit goes back to the families back up here for allowing the young boys to get down there, and also big credit goes back to the boys again for having this the really strong heart to just go and just continue playing the footy, and doing the studies and whatever.
John James Lavai wishes to continue his AFL career and one day move overseas to play AFL. Let's take a break, and when we return, we take a look at AFL PNG's coverage throughout Papua New Guinea. Welcome back to Catch Play. Now, AFL PNG, with its ever-increasing programs around the country, has developed many new talents that today represent their province and the country at different levels of competitions. Let's take a look. In terms of participation, AFL PNG has seen strong growth limited only by resources. AFL PNG currently has over 20,000 active participants in organised schools, community and village clinics, as well as competitions across PNG. AFL programs in the country provide both girls and boys with a fun and safe football experience that serves as an introduction and continuation of their involvement in the game. The code of AFL has given the opportunity to have a positive influence on the participants and instill and develop positive life skills through sports in their communities. AFL has 4 distinct games development regions in PNG. The Southern Sharks region covering NCD, Central, Gulf and Western provinces. The Northern Tanda region covering Morobe, Medang and the Sepik area. The Highland Raiders region covering all the Highlands provinces, and the Island Stingrays region emphasizing all New Guinea Islands provinces. AFL PNG has a great ability to be nimble and mobile in its development around Papua New Guinea. Sports has universal appeal, and AFL PNG understands that this appeal can be a real tool to influence program participations, decision making to create positive outcome in their lives. AFL PNG will continue to engage young children through their AFL programs around the country to bring change and to create positive outcomes in the lives of these children in the communities. And that was AFL PNG across Papua New Guinea hosting policies and programs to develop our young athletes through sport of AFL. That's all we have for you on Catch Play. Tune in every Thursday nights as we bring you more sports development stories in and around Papua New Guinea, from communities that use sports as an avenue for change and developments. If you have any sports development programs in your community or know of individuals using sports to bring change into the lives of young youths in the community, please send us an email to sports@mtv.com.pg. Thanks for watching Catch Play. I'm Godwin Eki. Good night.